I figured I'm going to stay quiet, see how long it lasts.
Some of us made Shabbos already, maybe.
Oh, Aaron's Wag looks like he's already to roll. He ain't talking.
I can talk. I got nothing to say. You said what I said. What the MS is.
I hear you. I thought maybe, like you already kept Shabbos and your Zoom is on and you're not talking or whatever.
No.
All right.
I'll be later than you because I'm further west.
You don't do early Shabbos?
No.
Is that a Shita or they don't do that over there?
Oh, they do it. It's a pain.
They even have a late minyan there?
The shul that I typically go to is starting at 6:20. I'm going to go someplace else.
Here.
At 7:45.
Parrots, did you find a mincha, Parrots?
Nope. Nope, my boys are ready in the shower now.
I hear you. I don't know if Jesse's coming in person. I should wait for him. I don't know. Okay, how much longer we wait?
What time was his davening?
I don't know.
It's 51 already.
What time is plug?
I'm looking it up right now.
All right, we'll just start. All right, okay. Okay, let's go. So we're up to the two dots. On top. Oh.
6:17. It says it's plug.
Oh, so they should be done by then. Okay. Where are
you starting from?
Two dots. Yud Beis Amud Aleph. About
on the bottom,
10
right?
lines up, 10
Yeah,
lines
I
up
got
on the
it.
bottom.
Thank you.
All right. So so what we do is we get another kohen to back him up. Pshita, if it's pasha, ira by passul. Kohen Tamid shel shachar. If there's a passul that happens to the kohen before he does the Tamid shel shachar, so mechanchen say b'Tamid shel shachar. So how are we mechanach? Meaning how do we show that this guy is now? How do we sort of anoint him or appoint him or show that he's the kohen gadol? So by him doing the Tamid shel shachar, that shows that obviously he's the kohen gadol.
Is this every day or Yom Kippur?
I think it's talking about Yom Kippur, but I think it would work every day too. No.
Yeah. So then I don't understand the Gemara's. Why don't you put on the Shemanim Begad on this person? When he's the kohen, he looks like the kohen gadol. What is the big deal? I don't understand this Gemara.
You mean why don't you just put on the Shemanim Begad?
Yeah.
I think that's what he does. Saying Rashi says he puts it on.
Okay.
So you're asking on the next part of the Gemara thing. So he puts on the Shemanim Begadim,
Yeah,
and then he goes,
right.
and then he does the Tamid,
fine,
right?
fine.
So then, meaning the next part after, why? Oh, because there's no Shemanim Begadim to put on. Right, that's what it is. I think when it says Tamid shel shachar, the way Rashi is explaining it is that he puts on the Shemanim Begadim, and that it now allows him to do the. So your kasha is, why don't you just say put on the Shemanim Begadim? Why are you saying that has to do with the Tamid shel shachar? I hear.
Yeah.
I hear. I don't know.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So let's see again.
Didn't the kohen gadol switch 3 times between the Shemanim Begadim and Bar Begadim on Yom Kippur?
Yes.
Four times.
Well, there were 3 in between, so yeah.
Once from his street clothes, and then 4 times.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
The Tamid was the last one?
No, the first.
He switched between. So I don't understand. So why is it not negay the Shemanim Begadim after that?
You mean why can't he? Because he has to first do the, meaning what's showing that this guy's the Kohen Gadol. The next thing after the Tamid Shel Shachar is in the white, which is the same thing as the Kohen Hedjit. Oh, we should have pointed that out. On Yom Kippur, when the Kohen Gadol goes inside to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, he wears only white, which is the exact same outfit, I guess, as the Kohen, as the regular Kohen. So now, if this guy the Kohen Gadol becomes passul, and then this new Kohen takes him over, how do we see, with what did they appoint him, with what does he show, right? So that he's the Kohen. So before the Tamid Shel Shachar, no big deal. The Kohen Gadol did it with his eight begadim, with the Shmona begadim. But after that, there's nothing to show. So let's say Pshita, either by passul kaidem Tamid Shel Shachar. If the passul happens before the Tamid Shel Shachar, mechan chanois the Tamid Shel Shachar, then by him doing the Tamid Shel Shachar, that shows everybody that we have a new Kohen Gadol. Right? Elam ira by passul achar Tamid Shel Shachar. Remember, what are we mechanech him with? Whatever he's wearing, what the Kohen Gadol is going to be wearing the same thing as the regular Kohen. So how do we see that this guy, that this new person, new Kohen, I keep saying guy, the new Kohen becomes a Kohen Gadol? No, because they have a different belt, right? Because he had a special belt different than a regular Kohen. So that shows that he is now the Kohen Gadol. Okay, so the Gemara says, so this all works out according to the Manda Omar that says that the regular avneit of the Kohen Gadol is the same as the Kohen Hedjit, right? And then he changes, right? But if you say that the Kohen Gadol's regular belt is different than the Kohen Hedjit's, Michael and Maimar, what are you going to say, right? So the avneit is not going to be any different, right? According to this shita, it's not going to be any different. So how can that make him? How can the avneit putting on the belt change anything, right? What's the problem? You're thinking that it should be the opposite. You're saying it should be the opposite?
Not exactly. The way Rashi puts it, that on Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol's avneit was different.
Correct.
So Mamela, if there was already a difference, showing a different difference isn't a difference. I mean, it sounds a little bit...
Why?
Just the fact that there is a difference makes it different.
Right.
So why is that a problem? That's a good answer.
No. No, when all year round he wore the same belt, right? Yom Kippur he wore a different belt.
Avneit shel butz.
Right, made out of whatever. What do you call linen? Right.
Right. So and that's good. That's the hanicha. But if all year round the Kohen Gadol's belt was different than the Kohen Hedjit's,
right? Then
what? And on Yom Kippur,
he puts on a regular Kohen. He puts on the same belt as the Kohen Hedjit all year, right? Then there's no difference.
There is on Yom Kippur. I don't understand.
No.
Then the kasha is backwards.
No, the Kohen Gadol's belt, according to the Mandam, it says that all year round the Kohen Gadol's belt was different than the regular Kohen's. On Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol's belt became the same as a regular Kohen's. So now, how can you tell? So this regular Kohen keeps on his same belt because it's Yom Kippur. So how are you supposed to tell that he became the Kohen Gadol? He keeps on his same belt. According to the Mandam that all year round they have different belts, and then he changes his belt. According to the Mandam that says,
changes his belt?
That says,
the first Kohen Gadol?
I just mixed it up. According to the Mandam that says that they wear the same all year round, so then the one on Yom Kippur is different. Right? According to the Mandam that says that yes.
The one they wear on Yom Kippur, you mean I don't understand. The one they wear in Yom Kippur is
This is not easy.
is the one of the
Gemara,
Kohen
is it?
Hadyot.
What?
The one they wear on Yom Kippur is the Kohen Hadyot's belt.
According to which man the Omar?
According to both.
No. According to the first man the Omar, that they wear the same belt all year round. Then on Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol puts on a different belt. Forget about what it's made out of. He puts on a different belt. So this new Kohen,
How do we know that? Is that a new?
I
is that
ain't
coming
getting
up?
involved in how we know that. I
This
don't
is
know. But that,
okay, new halacha.
yeah, seems like on Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol wore a different belt. Yeah, that's for sure. The Kohen Gadol wore a different belt.
And according to other man the Amar, that's not true.
It's this week's parsha. So it's this week's parsha. If there's ever a parsha that we can figure this out, right? Maybe we can rehash it. It says, "Ksainis bad kodesh yilbash." I'm looking it up. Michase bad yual b'saroi, uavneit bad yachkor, u'mitzemes bad yitznach big kodesh heim. Right? It says, u'ba'avneit bad yachkor. I mean, where does it say that it's a different one? I don't know, but that's the
That
passul.
is different. That's not the Kohen Hadyot's belt.
Correct. But we're saying, who says it's different for
But
Yom
that's the
Kippur?
Kuli Alma. The Kuli
No, but
Alma.
who's-
This is for Yom Kippur. The Kohen Gadol wore a different belt than he usually
Okay, so
did.
what's the problem? So what are you
and
asking
it's
for
not
the
the same as
source?
Kohen Hadyot's.
So what are you asking for the source? I don't understand.
No, so but this is the belt he wore according to both of these mandam. The Yom
Yes.
Kippur belt was different.
Yes.
So Bein Laman Omar, his avnei during the year was the same. Bein Laman Omar, it was different. On Yom Kippur, it was definitely different.
Correct. But if the whole year round he wore a different belt than the Kohen Hedjit, and then on Yom Kippur he switched to a belt that was the same as the Kohen Hedjit's all year round.
It's not though. The Kohen
It
Hadyot
is.
didn't wear avnei pad. The Kohen Hadyot wore shatnez.
I don't know. That's the Gemara's kasha. That we're gonna see now under Amud Beis about the whole Machlokes. It's a big Machlokes.
One of these manda amrim you say is chaylik on this pasuk.
It's not chaylik on the pasuk.
So this pasuk is saying that these are the big day Kohen Hadyot.
Yes. Yeah. I think so. That's the way I understand it.
So if it's the same as the Kohen Hadyots, then there is no difference. Bein Laman Amar was different during the year. Bein Laman Amar wasn't different during the year. This is a Kohen Hadyot's belt.
Yes.
So now there's no differentiation between
according
him
to
and
the
the Kohen
second
Gadol.
opinion. According to the second opinion, but according to the first opinion, there is a differentiation.
According to the second opinion, this pasuk is not the belt of a Kohen Hadyot.
It is, but for the Kohen Gadol, it's a different belt.
Well, wasn't the kasha that he has to be shown a difference between him and a Kohen Hadyot?
Yes.
So there's no difference between him and a Kohen Hadyot.
No, it
If
has
he's
to be
wearing a
different.
Kohen
No,
Hadyot's
it
belt.
has to be different between Kohen Gadol the whole year and Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur.
That was the kasha b'ma mechanchim, I say.
Yes.
I think you guys should
Yeah.
discuss this on Motzei
No,
Shabbos.
it's not a kasha. It's not. No, if it was a kasha, we would have gone on. But we're trying to get Pashup Pshat in the Gemara. That's the only reason why I'm extending. But that's the Pshat. At least the way I understand. So we got to go by the thing. So
There is a concept called Teku.
But the Gemara doesn't say Teku here.
I hear that.
So Amar Abaya. So this is what he does. Abaya says, Loivish Shmaina, he wears the Shmaina Begadim, Ubahambach Bitzinurim. What he does is he takes a fork and he turns over the Tamid Shel Shachar. So that shows that he does something. He does something in the Tamid Shel Shachar. But Ravuna, Dam Ravuna, Zar Shahavach Bitzinura Chayiv Bisa. Because you see when Ravuna says that if a stranger, meaning a Yid, a Yisrael, a Yisrael, touches the Tamid, then the game is over. Then he's chayav misa. So you see that moving the Tamid is part of the avoda. So what we do is even though the Kohen Gadol brought the Tamid Shel Shachar already, but this new Kohen comes and he turns over some of the meat or whatever it is, and then Mamela, that shows that he's a Kohen, right? But Rav Papa had a different way to show it. Rav Papa Amar, avoidasei mechanchasoi. His avoda is mechanachim, meaning just by him doing The avodas Yom Kippur shows that he's the Kohen gadol. Milai Tani, do we not learn? Kol hakelim shasam Moshe b'shichasan mekadshon. Right? When Moshe made all the new kelim for the Mishkan, he put oil all over them. Mikan ve'elach. But after that, avidasam mechanchasan. The way they made them kaddish, right? The way they made them kaddish is by just using them. So too here, the Kohen Hedjitz avoda shows, he's the Kohen gadol. Fine. So Kiyasar Rav Dimi Amar Avnei Shel Kohen Hedjit, Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon. There's a Machlokes exactly what is the deal with the belt of the Kohen Hedjit. Right, Gashin. Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon Chad Amar Shel Klayim. One said it was made out of shatnez, right, which is normally aser, but for the Kohanim it's mutter. Chad Amar Shel Butz, and the other one said it was made out of linen. This is all year round. It's made out of linen. Yeah, which means it was the same belt as the Kohen Gadol's belt on Yom Kippur, which is a fascinating thing. That means the Kohen Gadol is supposed to wear something more chashuv. He actually seemingly downgrades from his different belt on Yom Kippur to the same belt. I guess all his clothing, really. Okay, so we don't know who says what. So again, the Machlokes is whether it's made out of linen or made out of shatnez, out of wool and linen. So this time, the Rebbe who damar shel klayim. Let's prove that Rebbe is the one that says it's made out of klayim. Tanya ain't ben Kohen Gadol Kohen Hedjit ela avnei. There's no difference between a Kohen Gadol and a Kohen Hedjit, only a belt. Divrei Rebbe. That's what Rebbe holds. Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon says af lo avnei. Right? He disagrees and says no. The belt is also not any different. Right? So now Amos, when are we talking about this belt? If you say we're talking about what's the difference between the Kohen Hedjit and the Kohen Gadol, if you say it's all year round, Tuvika, of course, there's a lot of difference between them. Kohen Gadol mashamash b'shmayna Hedjit b'arba. Kohen Gadol uses 8 begadim and the Hedjit uses 4 begadim. Elalav must be talking about Yom Kippurim. Must be talking about Yom Kippur, right? So what do you see? So it has to be that the belt is that according to Rebbe Rebbe is the one who says that the belts are different. Yeah? So, meaning not different, that it's made out of klayim. So Rebbe must be the one that says that the belt's made out of klayim. So when it says Amri, no, it's really talking about the difference between the Kohen and the Kohen Gadol all year round. It's referring to the things that they have that are equal, meaning the clothing. So the Gemara is saying that it's talking about the belt. The belt is different, and when it says that these are the differences between the Kohen and the Kohen Gadol and the Kohen Hedjit, it's referring to only their clothing, right? Only the 4 articles of clothing of the difference between the Kohen Gadol and the Kohen Hedjit.
Technically 3.
Technically,
the mitznefes and the mikbas were different.
Technically, yeah, fair enough. Fine. So Kiyasa Rabin Amar Avnei Shel Kohen Gadol b'Yom Kippurim Divrei Hakol Shel Butz. He had a different shot. He said the belt of the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, according to everybody, was made out of linen. The rest of the year, the Kohen Gadol's belt was made out of klayim. The only machlokes is the Kohen Hedjit's belt all year round and Yom Kippur. Rebbe says it was made out of klayim. Rabbi Shimon it was made out of linen. So Amar Nachman by Yitzchak Afana Nami. Tanina, we also learned this al basari. So it says you put the clothing on his basar. Ma Talmud loymar yilbash. So what do you have to say the word yilbash? Right? What do you have to say? It says al basari. Isn't that doesn't get al basari unless you wear it? So ma Talmud, what's the word yilbash to wear it? It comes to tell you that he needs the mitznefes, which is the hat, and the avneit to do to the trumas hadeshen when he removes the ashes from the mizbeach in the morning. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. That's Shitas Rabbi Yehuda. Big day Kohen Gadol b'Yom Kippurim she'en ksherin l'Kohen Hedjit. It comes to include that the big day Kohen Gadol that the Kohen Gadol wore on Yom Kippur are kosher for the Kohen Hedjit. Meaning, since we just said it's the same clothing, the Kohen Gadol's clothing on Yom Kippur is the same clothing as a Kohen Hedyot. So imagine if you got a Kohen Hedyot who says, "Oh, I'm going to get this Kohen Gadol's clothing from Yom Tov. I'm going to get a hold of those and wear it all year round," right? So Rav Daisa says that it's allowed. And that's what Yulbash is coming to tell you. Rebbe disagrees. He says, "Shtei tshuvas b'davar." There's two answers to this. Chada davneitoi shel kohen gadol b'yom kippurim lo yizehu avneitoi shel kohen hedyot. One is that it's not the same belt, so therefore the kohen hedyot cannot take the leftover clothing from the kohen gadol. As much sentimental value as it has, it's the wrong belt. You're going to take clothing that was used on the holiest day of the year, but in the holiest place. Come in. I don't know if that's, I don't know. Yeah. So the clothing that you're going to use for a kedusha, you're going to use. Come in. They're going to use for kala. Shabbos, yeah. So Ella matam aloymer yilbash. So it can't be that it means that the Kohen Hedyot is allowed to wear the clothing for the Kohen Gadol, right? The leftover clothing. Ella matam aloymer yilbash. The rabbi says hashchakin. It comes to include the shchakin. Shchakin means like the old clothing, right? Meaning that he's allowed to wear old clothing for the avoda. The Tanya v'nichim sham, and he puts them there. That so he holds. Reb Daisa holds that you need to put it into shemis. You can't use it anymore. Reb Daisa, I'm sorry, that's the Tanakam. Reb Daisa Aimer Shaloi Yishtamash Ben Yom Kippur Acher. He says no. It just means you can't use it for another Yom Kippur, but you can use it all year round. So you see, it's Reb Daisa L'Shitasai who holds that you can use the Kohen Gadol's clothing. Now Rashi brings here that it might even be a good thing to do, that he should wear the Kohen should wear the old clothing when he deals with the ashes that are on top of the Mizbeach. So why should he ruin the good clothing? Right?
The vision of the Rebbe is where the vision of the Rebbe wears the Aptarov's begadim from Yom Kippur and Shana Rabbah. It's already 150 years old.
That's the one that looks gold, right?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay, I guess we'll stop here. Yeah, all right. We could have gone a little weiter, but fine. All right. Does that answer your question, Gershon, at all or nothing?
Kind of, not really, but yeah. It works.
All right.
Is there a minion tomorrow?
What?
I don't know. Paris, a minute?
Yes. Around 10 o'clock is Baruch Hu, which means 10:15.
What time starts Mount Philip?
Like 10:40 something, maybe 10:35.
Oh wow, okay. What time shear tomorrow night?
Where's the minion?
Oh, she'll be like
in my mother's house, Rabaran. In my mother's house, we have homemade lox after the meeting with the kiddush. 10:37 in New York is this Zman Tefillah.
Wow. It's early.
Is it fresh locks or locks from last week?
What? Parrots. When's Mincha, Parrots?
Mincha for what?
Tomorrow, Shabbos afternoon.
That's not his geschäft.
Oh, it's not his. Okay, fine. I'm sorry.
Mincha's 7:10, 7:15. Parrots, you're invited for Mincha if you want.
7:10.
Oh, shkoyach.
We got to finish by 7:30. How are we going to finish by 7:30?
Naftali, what time is Shkia tomorrow?
7:42.
7:44.
Okay, so we got to finish by 7:35.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Okay.
7:10, 7:15.
And you have relations 20 minutes after Shkia too. Naftali, you're okay.
I understand that I could want to go, but if we're planning something, I'd rather plan it. Last week I came home 15 minutes after Shkia. I'd rather, if we're planning it, just to get home.
Dovi,
You gotta
Harris,
plan it 45 minutes before Shkia, so it starts about.
So Yaakov, are you
45
going to the
minutes before
Siach Yitzchak Shalosh Shudas that nobody was invited to? Just invited to say Shalom Aleichem to the Rabbeim, or you didn't get the email?
If I got the email, it's Keilu I didn't.
It says the Olam could come say Shalom Aleichem to the Rabbeim at 7:20.
Peretz, the last thing I want to see is my kids Rebbeim.
By the way, Yaakov, that was me this morning, and I got to tell you, it was
Peretz, that's
brutal.
why I came early during the davening.
I got to say, there's a reason why kids are not from, and I should really stop recording, but the reason why kids are not from is because of these davenings, man. It's brutal.
Dovi.